it really like breaks my heart that we're finally seeing the full package of Kozzy. He's been inconsistent. He's finally matured. He's got his midfield game going. I think he's getting to the full package, and now we're going to lose him.
So he's gone?
I think he is probably going, but the other thing is like, we can't afford to lose him. Like, Kysaiah Pickett's 24. Let's say Melbourne want to be a contender in 3 years' time. Like, he's the guy. Like, he's our man. He's our biggest asset to our next premiership. If he wants to go home, we can't keep him. Okay, but like, Freo have got to pay up, and he just showed it against the team that is trying to lure him.
What would be sufficient for you to accept?
So, I think it was our first podcast in the year, and Dean and Brody were saying straight swap for Jackson. I'm not sure Jackson wants to come back to Melbourne. I just think like you don't find Kysaiah Pickett, and I know there are a lot of great small forwards out there, but I don't think anyone can match his ceiling. I think he's the most skilled player in the competition. Not as consistent, and that's why he doesn't have the awards of Toby Green, even Dylan Moore, Rankin, Charlie Cameron. But I think we're finally seeing the full package. He scored the most goals in his draft class as well. So back to your question, Kai, what do we ask for? Freo have picked 10. If they make finals, it's going to be outside the top 10. There are so many NGA and father-sons this year. That's going to be a late pick. So it's probably going to be 3 first-rounders. But if we're Melbourne... No, not Ant Jackson.
So if Jackson...
Overs. Whatever it is, it has to be overs.
Okay.
And if Jackson wants to come home, include him. But I'm saying to Freo, like, hey, you want Kozzy, like, give us Murphy Reid.
Okay.
He's Victorian. He didn't look too happy on draft night.
Yeah.
He's obviously got talent. Like, give us Murphy Reid and a first rounder and top 10 pick. That's his worth. I don't want to be biased. I know I've been accused of being Melbourne biased, but I'm so confident that by the end of the year, Kysaiah Pickett will be in the top 10 players in the comp. I'm very confident of that.
I look forward to coming back at the end of the year and debriefing with this.
Like, I've made calls on some other Melbourne players that I look back and it's like, I kind of said it because I love them and I'm not sure I was thinking with my head, but like thinking with my head right now, I am very confident if Kysaiah Pickett puts together a 4, 5, 6 games of that, 5 goals and 24 disposals, he'll be in the top 10 players of the comp.
Okay. I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but...
No, like, you can disagree with me. That's fine.
Well, if we went through... So, you have him in the top 10... You think
I'd have him in the top 10 and probably the best small forward in the comp. I think it's generally just down to consistency.
Okay.
And yeah, he missed the first 3 games. So we've only had a small sample size, but I think it was very good against Essendon. I think if Melbourne get going, I don't think anyone can match him. Like, who do you put on him?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just think that there are plenty of small... I mean, Rankin...
No, and I've thought about this. Like,
Who do you put? Which defender?
I wouldn't even put him top 1, like, best small forward right now. I wouldn't say that because I still think Rankin, Toby Green... I still think Dylan Moore has the consistency over Kozzy. But I just think by season's end, I don't think there's going to be any small forward on his level.
Okay. I look forward to coming back to it. So
I look forward to
it. If Kysaiah Pickett was happy to stay, but wanted to be paid more, how much would you be willing to pay him?
Well, I think you have to obviously see what he produces this year. He's still got 2 years in his contract. I don't know. Like, I guess it has to be around $1 million. We'd have to pay overs for him to keep him.
So you've got Clayton Oliver,
and I think we'd have to look at offloading one.
Gawn, May, Lever.
Nah, I don't think
May's
no.
They'd be paid highly.
Not all of them. May's got 1 year. Like, next year will be his last year. Definitely not on a lot. Gawn, Viney wouldn't be on a lot. They're like not in their
Viney,
twilight.
Petrarca
and Oliver are on $1 million plus.
So Gawn would surely be over 800.
Yeah, probably around that.
Right.
But I think it'd be probably paid like next couple of years a lot, and then last 2 years not many.
Lever and I mean, I don't know the exact numbers,
I don't know either.
Surely May and Lever would be on around 800.
Not May, maybe Lever. I don't think Melbourne has paid anyone aside from Oliver and Petrarca that much. Like, we lost Brayshaw, who was on quite a bit. we had Grundy on quite a bit on 700k that we never really gave to anyone. We haven't brought anyone into the club.
Yeah.
Like, we have not brought anyone under a big contract. We've only really brought in draftees and some shitty fringe players. I think, the list manager has to sit down with Kozzy and say, hey, this is our path to our next premiership. If, we'll pay you this, which is probably going to have to be, $1 million a year for 7 years, something like that, which is probably overs, but it's what you got to do to keep them at the club. Do you want to be a part of it? If not, we're going to keep you one more year because Freo don't have the assets to pay us anything right now. And then the year before he goes out of contract, 3 first rounders. Geelong did it with Tim Kelly.
Yep.
They said he wanted to go home.
But he was aging. And
No, he was 20. He got drafted, I think, at 24.
so this happened, the Geelong...
I think he'd be the same
Was it
age.
3 years ago?
It was 3 years ago. So he debuted 2018. He wanted to go home. Geelong said, no, we're keeping you for another year. Played 2019, was All-Australian in 2019, and then 3 first rounders.
Do we know who they got?
And no, they
Offloaded.
They offloaded to Giants for Jeremy Cameron in the end.
That's true. That's right.
So I just don't think if Freo can't give us what we... If Freo can't give Kozzy Pickett's value at the end of this year, then there's no issue with Melbourne saying, hey, we're going to need you for one more year. And, that year might be a really successful year and he might want to stay. It also may just be a family thing and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.